Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful personal stories ever told. It's a voice that has echoed through generations, and it all comes from the pages of a young girl's diary.
So that quote, that's from a 13-year-old Anne Frank. And it really gets to the heart of why this incredible diary even exists in the first place. It's all about this deep feeling of loneliness and just searching for one true friend.
So, who was this girl behind these words that so many of us know today? Let's get into it.
Okay, so Anne was born in Germany, but her family had to flee to Amsterdam to get away from the Nazis. But then, the occupation spread, and they were trapped. You have to understand, for a young Jewish girl at that time, her entire world had suddenly become this incredibly dangerous place.
So to survive, the Frank family did the only thing they could. They went into hiding. This was in July 1942. And for 2 long years, the secret annex was literally her entire world. Can you imagine? And it's right here, in these tiny hidden rooms, that she wrote down everything. Her life, her dreams, and all of her deepest fears.
But, this diary wasn't just a log of what happened each day. Nope. For Anne, it was something so much deeper, so much more personal.
I mean, if you looked from the outside, it probably seemed like Anne had it all, right? Loving family, a nice home, lots of people she knew. But even with all those people around her, she felt just completely isolated.
She just felt like she couldn't get past all that small talk, the ordinary everyday things. What she really wanted was someone she could truly open up to, a friend to share what was actually going on in her head. And she just wasn't finding that connection with anyone.
So what does she do? She creates one. She decides that her diary, which she got for her 13th birthday, is going to be that friend. She even gives it a name, Kitty. And from then on, every single entry is like a personal letter written straight to Kitty.
And to make sure Kitty could really understand her life, Anne decided to kind of give her the backstory. A little sketch of her life to bring her new friend up to speed.
So, her life, even before they went into hiding, was, it was a lot. You can see the family had to move from Germany to Holland to escape persecution, and then something really personal and sad happened. She lost her beloved grandmother, and this was just a few months before they had to hide in the annex.
Wow. This quote just shows you how much her family meant to her, doesn't it? Even on her own birthday, she's making sure to honor her grandmother. Her diary is just filled with this incredible warmth and love, even while her world was literally shrinking around her.
But the diary isn't all heavy stuff, not at all. It also shows us this other side of Anne, this incredibly clever, funny, and spirited teenager. And there's this one story she tells about a teacher that's just a perfect example.
Okay, so this is her maths teacher, Mr. Keesing. She playfully calls him an old fogey. And their big problem? Well, Anne loved to talk in class. And Mr. Keesing, let's just say he really didn't.
And this whole thing turns into this hilarious battle of wills between them. First, he gives her an essay as punishment. So what does she do? She cleverly argues that talking is a trait she inherited from her mom, so she can't help it. He actually laughed at that. But when she kept on talking, he gave her another essay, and then a final one with this absolutely ridiculous title.
So, for this last assignment, Anne totally turns the tables on him. With a little help from a friend, she doesn't write an essay at all, she writes a poem. And it's basically this big joke, right? It's about a father swan who bites his noisy little ducklings to death, and it's pretty clear that swan is supposed to be Mr. Keesing.
And guess what? It worked. Perfectly. Mr. Keesing totally got the joke. He thought it was so good, he read the poem out loud to her class and even to other classes. Her cleverness completely won him over, and she never got another punishment for talking. It's just such a great little story that shows you her personality,
But we have to remember that this bright, funny voice was writing all of this during an unbelievably dark time. And in the end, her diary would become her legacy.
Because tragically, after those 2 years, the secret annex was discovered. The family was sent to concentration camps, and Anne, she died of typhus. Just weeks before the camp was liberated, she was only 15 years old. Her father, Otto, was the only one from the annex to survive. When he came back, he found her diary had been saved, and he just knew. He knew he had to share her voice with the world.
And he absolutely did. Her diary became a global phenomenon. I mean, think about its journey. From a private journal of a teenage girl to this worldwide symbol of hope and resilience. It's just incredible.
It's been translated, turned into movies and plays, shared in just about every way you can imagine.
So what makes it so powerful, so enduring? I think it's because it gives us something so unique. It's this incredibly personal, insightful look into one of the darkest times in history, and we see it all through the eyes of this one ordinary and yet completely extraordinary young girl.
Anne Frank's story has made her one of the most well-known victims of the Holocaust. Her diary, in her own words, is just this powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit, and it leaves all of us with a really big question to think about. What is it that gives one young voice so much power that it echoes through history and refuses to be forgotten?